Welcome to episode 216 of the Campus Comics Cast, where the temperature outside has finally broke, but the October pre-orders are still on fire. This is Scott Reed, and I'm joined on this episode by
Mike Atchison.
All right, and okay, first thing, speaking of fire, all right, something I learned this week. So, do you remember there was a 1978 Fantastic Four cartoon?
Did I know it or did I watch it?
Did you know that?
I knew of it, but I had never seen it.
All right, now there was a character of the original of the four that was not in the cartoon. Do you know which character was not part of the cartoon?
Wow, and so it was just the Fantastic Three?
No, there was a fourth member. They added a fourth member, so they replaced one of the members with somebody else.
Well, it's too early to have been She-Hulk.
Yeah, you're correct there. It predates the whole She-Hulk thing.
Let me think. Who would have been a good character
to replace
in the late 70s? I'm going to say Iceman.
Okay, so no. So Human Torch was not included in the Fantastic Four. And he was replaced by Herbie the Robot. Okay, so that's technically the first appearance of Herbie the Robot. So that part I knew. Now here's the part that I didn't know, or that I was misinformed on. Okay, the story, the reason why, do you want to guess, well, I guess since you didn't know. All right, The story for the longest time was that the Human Torch was not included because they were scared that kids were going to see him basically lighting himself on fire, and we're going to emulate that at home. So that's the story that most people tell whenever they talk about why was the Human Torch replaced on that series. Comes to find out that is actually not true. The truth is that the Human Torch of all characters was actually being considered for a TV series, so he was licensed out so they couldn't use him. Now the TV series never materialized, but it was because this is that post Spider-Man, there was that one or two seasons of the live action Spider-Man.
Right.
So I guess they were talking about doing a live-action Human Torch along the same vein. So anyway, So if you had also heard that he was not included because the company was scared that kids were going to set themselves on fire, that is not accurate. I had thought that for the longest time as well. So that is something that I learned this week that I thought was kind of interesting.
And how did you find this out? How did you learn it?
I don't remember. I was looking up. I think I was doing some research on Herbie. Because I knew it's like, okay, I think I was doing some research on Herbie, and then it's like, talked about how he first appeared in the cartoon, and then I think that led me down a rabbit trail that was like, oh, and why was Herbie there instead of Human Torch, and then the rumor about the thing. So yeah, it was just one of those search rabbit holes, I guess.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Well, that's interesting. That's a really good piece of trivia. Of course, I'm not the target.
Not the target audience. We did have Eric Longbox Review comment on our Tomb of Dracula 6-issue review. He just said, this was never a series I was into. I'm not a big monster fan, but the talent involved certainly were top notch. Actually, I'm sorry, though, I'm jumping down. I read this. This is Eric's response. I read this series long ago and found it to be way too wordy, but the moody art was cool. And then he recommends actually the New 52 series, I, Vampire, if you are interested in more vampire stories. And then he also, for the prose person, suggests Anno Dracula, which is another novel. I'm not familiar with it.
I'm not either.
Okay, so if you're looking for some more vampire reads, that's a book suggested by Eric. And then Michael Cathro also said he wasn't really into the series. He wasn't a big monster fan, and he commented that he was surprised that I didn't mention Baron Blood, who was a Captain America villain a little bit after this time period. So I kind of, we had to stop at some place, so that was like my time frame, where I decided to stop was just right there along Tomb of Dracula. And then Michael also did want to put in his vote for including the trivia. And he said that he was putting together an Incredible Hulk CGC set which I think could get pretty expensive. But he would put a question on the bottom of one book and the answer on another. So I guess if he was flipping through the CGCs, he would see the question and put the answer on the next one. And I don't know. So it's just kind of, I guess, if you're as you're flipping through. So,
Yeah.
but
Well,
anyway,
to kind of respond to what Eric said about Andrew Bennett, I Vampire, that I always thought, I remember in the 90s when the Marvel DC team up, the amalgam
hmm
comics, and there was the Marvel versus DC, and then the combination characters.
yes.
I always thought it'd be cool to have Dracula and I Vampire team up, or have a team up book.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that a combination, an amalgamized character would be much more than what they are.
Or yeah, they would
They're
be basically
vampires,
the
yeah.
same. Yeah. So,
Right. Yeah.
oh, that's funny that you mentioned that because they're doing a facsimile of one of the amalgam books in this catalog.
Yeah, I've got that down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So spoilers. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to steal any of your thunder there. So, um, but thank you both for the feedback. I also, when he talked about those books being wordy, my response is they're wordy, but they're not Squadron Supreme wordy.
Yeah. I mean, there's Jerry Conway wordy, and then there's Roy Thomas wordy.
Yeah.
And I think the first couple issues, I totally agreed with the wordiness. After this third or fourth, when if I'm going back on memory, it was Archie Goodwin did issues 3 and 4, and I love them. And I don't know the wordiness. I don't know what the word count was, but it was more enjoyable to read.
Okay. Cool. And then one more before we jump into the catalog. We did not too long ago the first volume of Kyle Stark's Where Monsters Lie. All right. And there is now a Kickstarter for what I am embarrassed to admit is the third volume. So I think we both said we would like to see the second volume. Well, guess what? It's out and has been out for a little while. So the third volume is just a one-shot. I don't remember how many pages it is, but it opened up as we record. Today is August 2nd. It opened August 1st. So if you are interested in reading, I actually backed the digital catch-up where I'll just get all three of them digitally. And then since Kyle Starks is fairly local, I'm hoping that I'll bump into him someplace and can just buy the printed copies directly from him, if that's a possibility. But I'll be able to read volume 2 and then the third volume, which is just a one-shot. So this is called, it's on Kickstarter, Where Monsters Lie, Dead End. So
Dead End is the third volume?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And like I said, there's a $15 digital catch-up where you get all three volumes digitally as part of it. So
I wonder how many, serial killer puns that Kyle can come up with, dead, because it's a whole neighborhood thing, right? 'Cause
yes,
they all
yeah,
move from neighborhood, yeah. So
yeah. So
killed the sack or
yeah,
dead ends.
yep. So what was the second one titled? I don't remember what the second one was. Oh yeah, called the sack is actually the title of volume 2. So
Okay.
but anyway, so you ready for next phase?
Absolutely.
All right, good deal. So I guess I need to get back up here to the top. I actually have something starting on page 4.
Oh man, you beat me. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. So I'm not going to order this because I have all of the non-deluxe editions, but they are they're releasing Dune graphic novel book 3 in a deluxe collector's edition. Now, for some reason, and this is what I'm not clear on, is they're giving Kevin Anderson a writer's credit on this, and Brian Herbert, even though it's based off of the Frank. I guess maybe they did the adaptation writing. I don't know, but I already have all 3 volumes of this. I talked myself out of spending the money on the deluxe edition, but I'm not going to say if I were to see them cheap, sometime in the future that I wouldn't actually pick them up. So
Yeah.
and then page 5. So this is absolutely something I am not interested in, but it is kind of starting to show my age a little bit. Garbage Pail Kids 40th Anniversary Edition. So this has the art of all the Garbage Pail Kid cards, and that stuff has been around for 40 years. So I was just a little surprised by that.
I didn't notice that on my first run through on the catalog, but now I see an introduction by Art Spiegelman
Mm-hmm.
of Mouse
Mm-hmm.
fame. So
Yeah.
that's interesting. I wonder what the connection is there.
I have
Maybe just a
no idea.
well, it was actually it looks like here he was the
Oh,
brainchild.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it is the brainchild of Art Spiegelman.
Yep.
Wow. Well, I'll be darned.
Okay. All right. Now I don't have anything until 44.
Well, I'm going to jump straight to page 6, and an adaptation of Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis, which is kind of hard to say,
Mm-hmm.
Megalopolis, but it's yeah. I don't know. I've never seen the film. It's never caught my eye, but I always those kind of I don't know. I think it's kind of a utopian type idea of a city, and if it's Coppola, I think I'd like to maybe try to watch that movie first,
Mm-hmm.
and then read this afterwards. So uh, yeah, and just not a name you normally see in
In a comic
in
book
these
catalog,
comic book
yeah.
catalogs, right?
Especially, wasn't he the one that complained about all the comic book movies?
I That could be, yeah,
Yeah. Or was, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
One of those guys did, so. And he wasn't completely wrong, but.
yeah.
All right. Still on 44.
Okay, 29. Uh, Actually, the next two are going to be me then, but they're both okay. So I have a grandson now. You everybody's heard me talk about granddaughters. Well, now I have a grandson, so I'm on page 29 is from Pop Magic. What's up, Superman and Friends? So it is a basically a kid's book, in sequential art, and or maybe it's just art in something you read to the kid. I'm not sure, but I'm already starting to buy stuff for my 8 month old grandson. And then on page 35, I will also pick him up the 5 minute Marvel Super Stories. That seems like fun. The art on the cover looks really great. So, you got to get the next generation interested.
That's right. Got to start someplace. So.
That's right. I'm good until 56.
Okay, so this is from Ahoy Comics, written by Mark Russell. We have, and I don't know, maybe we talked about this, but Thanksgiving one shot. So this is a Thanksgiving horror story, and
Hmm.
I really feel like if it wasn't this series, there was something very very comparable that we talked about recently. But yeah, so I don't know if I don't know how I feel about a Thanksgiving horror serial killer type story, but it's coming. So if it's not the first time, it might be the second time.
Yeah, and he can be pretty dark about stuff with his satire, and I don't know either. I seen this, but I didn't mark it down, so I do buy a lot of stuff that he puts out, but I don't think I will this one.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to pick it up either, but you do have a lot of people who like the horror stuff. So
Yeah.
let's see. I'm not until 56.
Oh, I have that too, but you
Okay,
go ahead.
well, I'm going to let you handle it because I'm actually not a huge Oz fan, so I'll let you take it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm an Oz fanatic either. I didn't even know until until recently, where come across some old 1970s fanzines
Hmm.
that were all about Oz, and that there is really a big cult following,
Hmm.
and there have been a lot of comics that both good and bad come out of that intellectual property. But with I read the book Wicked, I've seen it in at the theater, and now I've seen it at the first half
Hmm.
at the movies. So I do have sort of a new interest in that whole world of Oz. And this one is Ultimate Oz Universe Volume 1, The Lost Lands, an original graphic novel. And it's by Cullen Bunn and Larry King, and written or drawn by Mike Diodato Jr.
Hmm.
So good credentials there on the creative team. When I look at the preview art, it looks really good. Looks very it's very much fantasy, but also really the depth of this art, the richness of it
Hmm.
pulls me in. So these are times when I'm glad that they give you the sample art.
Yes, yeah.
You know. So yeah, this looks to me looks good. What do you think about it?
It just is so odd to see like the non-cowardly lion, like the buff lion, and the
Yeah.
it's a little different take. So I'm not interested enough in Oz, but yeah, the Diodato art is great, but it's just not for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I just figure, well, I'll read it, and then if it's not something I want to keep, I'll pass it down to a grandkid or something. Because my oldest granddaughter's, she's all ate up with Oz stuff right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. It might be a little too violent.
It might be, but
Yeah,
she won't be 11 forever.
that's
She's
true. Okay.
growing up fast.
Page 66, you've got the next in the what's the series called? The Protopius. There we go. I think that's what it is. I
Right.
want to say Protopius, but it's Protopius
You got to
series.
put the emphasis on the right syllable.
Yes, yeah, there you go. This is part of that series that's from Futuristic Studios, A Brief History of the Future. We've already had a couple of one-shots from this. This is written by Catherine Murdoch and Michael Coast, illustrated by Karen Grant. This time it is basically research into fungal networks inadvertently grants someone extraordinary powers to tap into nature. So I guess it's kind of, again, kind of feels like the dark side of certain echo technologies, and this is just the next in that series. And it was also mentioned by Michael Cathro as a recommendation.
Sure was. Yeah, I totally missed this. I mean, I didn't miss it,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't connect that it was the next in that the Protopius
Well, if we had
series.
had, Protopius colon Gaia, it would have been easier to find.
Yeah,
But
but
since, you
the
are
industry has
down,
picked up.
yeah, since you're down on the colons, it's harder to pick these things up sometimes. So,
That's funny. Yeah, yeah. It's a good thing they don't listen to me.
yeah, no kidding. All right, I'm on 79.
Okay, let's see. My next one is not until DC, so
Oh, okay.
135. So yeah.
So, okay, this is actually, I've got a couple more here then. On actually passing through on the way to 79, I noticed that the final issue of They Choose Violence is solicited.
Hmm.
So if you were following that series, I have the first issue, haven't read it yet. So from Bad Idea on page 79, we have Save Now. This was written by Matt Kent, art by Tomas Giorello. Basically, it's somebody who can I don't know, save the time at a certain point and then drop back to that. So they do have several. I thought they had some. No, they have several variants. That's for sure. Including
Oh,
there's going to be a Walt Simonson variant, though we don't actually see. It just has Simonson's signature on the cover, so we don't actually see. And then they have, and again, Bad Idea. They're becoming the king of terrible promo things. They have a 1 in 250. It's a variant. So this is about saving now and time travel. So there are certain pages inside of this issue that are different than other pages in the regular copy. So it's like an alternate timeline version of the story.
I just read a series. It was like an 8 issue series, and I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but it was a similar premise in that the main character, who was kind of a villain,
Mm-hmm.
he could stop time and then do whatever he wanted and then restart it. I don't know if he had a watch or what he had. The first issue or two were pretty good, and then I kind of lost interest. But I can't remember the name of it. Still similar.
Yeah, and Michael Cathro also suggested Save Now. So all right, I'm ready for
Yeah.
DC as well. So and I'm at 135.
Okay, go right ahead.
Oh, okay. So this is, this series sounds terrible to me. So it's
Me too.
DC KO. It's Scott Snyder, and this is like for that 11-year-old boy who wants to know what happens when certain heroes fight certain other heroes who would win. So here you are going to get to find some of those answers because you have Scott Snyder writing a basically a dark side story where the Justice League basically has to go blood sport, and they have bracketed challenges to find out who is the biggest bad of the good guys, I guess. So who's going to make it to the end, survive the blood sport arena to win this fight. And they're going to do this for is it just one issue? Maybe it's just one issue. I always
Well,
see
it's I mean, it's all tied into this whole Dark Side.
event, yeah.
We Are Yesterday and Dark Side Legion, and
Mm-hmm.
it's all interwoven. And this feels like just just extra bits that you don't really need, because I'm with you there. I have no interest
No.
in seeing an arena type battle
Mm-hmm.
for, I don't, especially if it's one-on-one stuff, or if it was like Secret Wars and you had like all the villains
Mm-hmm.
against the heroes. Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting, but this is totally like, it's like Doom Deathmatch or something, or
Mm-hmm.
it's not
Yeah.
even.
So
Yeah,
it's not. It's far from on my radar. Something that I'm going to pick up. Also mentioned by Michael Cathro. So, and there is a Mark Spears cover. So I'm kind of looking at the one cover. We got all the heroes fighting, but see, I don't. I feel like it's going to be a 1v1 because of on the cover there with all the fights, it's just one hero and one hero.
yeah.
And then they got the Cho variant of Wonder Woman versus Power Girl. They got Superman. On who is that? Can't. Oh, Dark Side. Okay, so he's uh, not body slamming, whatever. Dark Side, and then you got. I don't know. I don't know. It's just. Yeah, it's not for me.
Yeah, I only mentioned it. I had it on my list as well, but it
Yeah.
was only because, okay, so this is somewhat of an event that's sort
Mm-hmm.
of tied to another larger event, maybe, or a lead
Yeah.
into it or something. So
Yeah. Like on the next page, you have Justice League, the Omega Act #1. It's a KO prelude. So
yeah.
it's a prelude to what happens in DC KO
Oh,
#1.
and on
So
top of that, I don't know if I'm now. Have you read? Did you read the last Justice League Unlimited? The
no,
last couple?
I don't know how far I got into that. It just hasn't cycled back through since they don't keep reading histories very, on these apps sometimes. It's hard for me to keep
Yeah.
track. So if it doesn't pop up and you're ready for the next issue, sometimes I forget about it and I think
Yep.
I've missed it. So,
Well, Time Trapper has been a Legion villain for a long, long time, and now he is sort of combined with another villain, a particular Superman villain. So basically, Time Trapper, he looked like he had the sort of purple robe and the hood, and well, now there's a villain that you never could see what was under the hood, the face under the hood before, but now you can see the that it's another villain. So
oh,
you'll see it when you ever get to it.
when I
It's
get
it's
to
like
it.
it seemed like a mismatch to me. So yeah, I'll probably get the Justice League, the Omega Act, just because it's got Justice League in the title. So
And then I'm to 141.
well, I'm gonna go ahead and real quick on 137, the very next page, Justice League Unlimited 12, and this is not only a DC KO tie-in, it's straight out of, okay. So if you read the last issue, Justice League Unlimited, it it basically brought in a bunch, not just all the heroes in the universe and the multiverse can be part of the Justice League, but it's now on all of the in different times and hyper time. So on the cover here, you've got Mr. Terrific, and he's gathering sort of hyper time tossed heroes
Mm-hmm.
from basically just from different
Yeah.
comic publishing generations. So you
Batman
got
Beyond. You got the handless
Electric,
Aquaman, Electric
yeah,
Superman, and I guess
yeah.
that's Beast Boy.
I guess whenever he was more beastie,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, not my thing, but now I'll probably get that because well, I'm getting it anyway. So
Yeah.
but yes,
It's
I,
it's a case with all of these crossovers. It's like I have not read like okay, so I'm more on the Marvel side. You've got the One World Under Doom. You had Blood Hunt. I didn't
yeah,
read any of those series, but I've been reading like Fantastic Four. So it's like okay, I read the couple of Blood Hunt issues for Fantastic Four. I'm reading the One World Under Doom issues of Fantastic Four, but I'm not reading that crossover series. I'm just not. I don't know. They're just not grabbing me. You know, if there was one that just sounded really good, I would pick it up. But so far, these all they just sound like garbage to me.
And they just run into they're not special anymore.
No, no.
They're just one
And they just go
bumps
from
they
one
bump
to
in.
the next to the next.
Yes.
You never get a break from it. It's like it used to be the summer event. You have a big summer event.
Yep.
And even once a year was kind of pushing it, but now it's like, every 3 or 4 months there's a new big crossover thing, and it's just too much.
It is.
And we'll talk more about that on the Marvel side. That's not a DC issue, so.
Oh, I don't know. They kind of get that way. I remember reviewing on the Waiting for Doom podcast with those guys. We did Lazarus Planet, which was part of Batman versus Batman versus Robin, and it it all kind of started when Mark Waid came back to DC, and it was like he was trying to play catch up with a whole lot of ideas that he had, and now there's still kind of like ramifications of that because you still have depowered and amped up powered characters in the DC universe, and they still haven't quite got them in order. So
I'm at 141.
Yeah, that's where I am too. So.
Oh, well, I was just going to say Absolute Evil, #1. Of course, this Absolute line has been very popular at DC, so now you're going to find out what's going on with the bad guys here in Absolute Evil #1, written by Al Ewing. What else you want to add?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at you can't necessarily tell by the hands. I'm not really good at, because they're not even the, necessarily perfect replicas of the regular villains.
Right.
But I think that one looks a little bit like Cheetah.
I would say Joker right above.
Probably with the white glove, yeah. But on the list here in the solicit, you got Ra's al Ghul, Veronica Cale. She's a Wonder Woman villain.
Okay.
And then Eleanor Thawne. So my guess is that's the widow or something of one of the
Flash,
yeah,
Reverse Flash, yeah,
yeah, and then Hector Hammond's Green Lantern villain, yeah. So, I mean, this is just part of that Absolute line, and one of these days I'm going to just read all that on the app, I think.
Yeah, I haven't started any of the Absolutes or the Ultimates on the Marvel side, so I'm probably not going to.
It doesn't. I know I can't. I don't know how to get it all read.
Yeah. 155 for me.
Let's see. I had Absolute Batman on page 143. I only mention it. It's issue 13, but I mention it because it has the first appearance of the Absolute Catwoman, which kind of goes along with the Absolute Evil comic. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on. She's got this Mysterio globe-looking head. So I don't know what that's all about, but I thought I'd just make mention of it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that glass head there. So
yeah, what the heck?
I'm still at 155. So
I'm not till 158.
Okay, so 155, we have the final issue of Batman and Robin Year 1. So this is the Mark Waid, Chris Samnee series. So now that that's finished, I plan to read that at some point. Put it in my reading list on the DC app. But usually Mark Waid and Chris Samnee, they put together some pretty good stories. So I'm hopeful for that series now that it's wrapped up. I'm going to try to read it. So. And then 156, we have the Batman Day comics. So Batman Day is September 20th, which means that if your shop was going to get these, they would have already ordered them. But there's going to be just several special edition and hardcovers for Batman, including a special Hush 20th anniversary hardcover.
Yep. And
then I'm actually done with DC.
Just real quick, we got on page 158. It's Superman Red and Blue 2025 special #1. It's written by a bunch of different writers: Paul Dini, Dan Abnett, Rainbow Rowell, and Michael Walsh. And this is basically just spinning off. From the years ago we had the Paul Dini Eisner nominated series, Superman Red, Superman Blue. So I'm not sure what this will be like, but It did catch my eye.
See, I thought this was just a special for the Superman Red and Blue series we had, like, what, a couple of years ago? Because you did, like, there was Batman Black and White, and then there was Superman Red and Blue. That was like that 6 issue series.
Oh, it could be. I read it the other way though,
Oh,
but it
okay.
could be. I don't know. I'm
Now,
just yeah.
all of
I don't.
those black and white, the Batman Black and White, and the Superman Red and Blue, those are just anthologies. So, like there wasn't any story that went from issue to issue to issue. Like there was just a series of one and
Yeah.
done, or like 2 or 3 stories inside of each one that was a one and done, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
I for that reason, and I hadn't read any of them. I was making that assumption. I often, if I get those like in bulk, I hold on to them and I give them out at Halloween because it's like something that
Oh.
somebody can read and not have to worry about the issue before, the issue
Yep.
after.
Yeah, that's
So,
perfect.
yeah.
Yep.
Though I had to get them cheap because those are pretty expensive, pretty expensive issues. So,
Yeah, it's not like you're giving away some Richie Rich comics
yeah,
there.
exactly, yeah.
Our free
So
comic book day. So,
that's exactly. It's a little bit different. So those are, yeah, special.
well, I got two more picks from the DC catalog, or the DC section here. On page 177, we have House of Mystery in the limited collector's edition, number 23, facsimile. It's the big treasury size. I have the original, so I'm not getting this. Although I do know some people that will buy these just to keep DC printing them and putting them out. And I think it's working because when I go to shops now, I see those things. There are some that I forgot were even solicited. They're really coming back, hopefully to stay. But I actually like the
I hope not.
new material like Superman. Well, yeah, not to where it's like an everyday thing. I'd say once a year, once every 6 months, maybe see something new. I know it's hard to store,
Yes,
but
that's the problem. There's hard to transport, hard to store.
hard to transport.
Yeah.
Who's transporting comics unless they do
Oh,
what you do?
unless you're carrying boxes and boxes of comic books to shows. Yes.
Oh, that's my selfish self that doesn't have to do that.
There you go. So
Unless you ever need help and you need me to, since I was promoting it, you can say, all right, Mike, you can come
that's right. You
carry
can
all
come
these
carry
boxes.
these boxes. Yeah.
So the next thing I have is on page 188. It's the Doom Patrol by Keith Giffen and Matthew Clark omnibus. I had the original issues. It's like 900 pages for $100. This is probably the most underrated iteration of the Doom Patrol that I can recall. It was much better than the John Byrne Doom Patrol. It the Morrison Rachel Pollack just
It was weird.
it was too far on the weird side for me. And there was one more. Oh, the John Arcudi and Tang. It's like a Vietnamese name, or I apologize. Not that he's listening, but it's you would know the name of the artist, and it was really good too. John Arcudi and this guy. So,
Okay.
but this is my favorite. So it's on page 188. That's it for me for DC.
Okay, so probably one of the bigger pieces of information for this month in the Next Phase catalog is that Dynamite has left Diamond apparently, so they are now being solicited in Lunar's Next Phase catalog. So we do have a couple of things. I got a couple of things worth mentioning here.
I do too.
On page 232, you gonna talk 232?
Not till 237.
Okay, so 232. I never watched this show, but there's a Supernatural series based off of the TV show. I'm not a fan. Never haven't watched a single issue, but that's their big push. Lots of variant covers. Of course, it's Dynamite, so of course that's what we're talking about is variant covers with Dynamite.
Even a photo variant cover.
Photo variant cover. Then my next thing's 240.
Yeah, on 237 is Disney Villains Maleficent Volume 2, number 1. I bought the first few issues of this for my granddaughter. She liked it, so although she said it gave her bad dreams, but these are it's 32 pages, $5. I don't know how long it'll be, or if it'll be a mini series or what it is, but it's it's the next run of that.
Another suggestion from Michael Cathro on page 240 for Thundercats fans. Pumra? I have no idea.
Pumara?
Pumra? I'm just going to go with Pumra. Um, Next series in Thundercats line from Dynamite.
I almost I hesitated as I went past it, thinking, okay, that's a cool, sort of a cool design. It's definitely a cat theme
Mm-hmm.
character, and I'm thinking, why wouldn't he just call her Puma?
Yeah.
Pumara really makes it seem, maybe there's something in the story that makes
Well,
it
I would say
make
it's
sense.
it's based off of the TV series, so the cartoon.
Well, that's true too.
So it's
Yeah,
just they're working with what they had. So
you're so right. Yeah.
and Puma, you can't really trademark that because it's just a common word. Misspelling of a word, okay,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can. So
Quite so.
and then 246. I'm not ordering this. I'm just mentioning it because all this is Harley Quinn X Elvira issue number 1. So all previous orders of this were canceled. So because of the change from Dynamite or from gosh, I keep getting Dynamite and oh my gosh, Diamond messed up. I actually just forgot Diamond because of the switch over from Dynamite to Lunar. All the previous orders were canceled. So if you were wanting to get Harley Quinn X Elvira issue number 1, you're going to need to reorder it. So there you
Well,
go.
I want to know what the X mean. Does it mean
I assume it's
hug,
crossover.
crossover? I think in like social media parlance, it means more like not kissy kissy, but more like just a fond farewell or we're
Okay.
friends. I don't know. I
I don't
I
know.
really have seen it, but I've never quite. I'm too old to take part in those quippy little type texts and stuff. So
Yeah, I'm going to skip all that stuff as well. So, but there is a Mark Spears cover.
I'll probably get this though. I like Elvira. That brings back fond memories of the '80s.
Then I'm at 283.
255 is my last Dynamite item, and it's I was getting Fire and Ice because I like Bill Willingham as a writer, and I want to say that it just kind of dropped off the face of the earth for a while. But this is issue 4, so I'm not sure what's going on. I think I have the first two issues, maybe the first 3, and it seems like it's been 2 years since those. So it's just a fantasy type series, and like the others, it's also resolicited. So maybe I've just missed it. Maybe I don't know. I can't remember what happened. So you're at
283.
Okay,
283.
I'm all the way to Image now, 324.
All right, so this is from, I'm still going to call them Keen Sight, even though they call themselves here Execution Posse Holdings, which is because it's part of Keen Spot. You have Mark Spears Monsters, The Monster and the Wolf, number 1. Now, recently at Image, Kirkman had a blind bag, was it Battle Beast series? So we have Mark Spears following that example, and he is releasing a trick or treat blind bag for the first issue of The Monster and the Wolf. And apparently there are going to be like 30 different covers. Yeah, 30 exclusive cover variants. And they're going to have various rarities. So if you just like the surprise of opening it up and not knowing what you're going to get,
Are they all by him?
I believe they are all going to be by him, yes. And they show what? Let's see.
Yeah, everyone. All
3,
of them
5,
shown
7,
are by
9,
him.
11, 13, 15. They show 15 of them, so they should see about half of them.
Yeah,
So,
if you buy comics for their covers, this is for you.
yeah.
I don't know what's on the inside, so you may get even a bonus, but these
Well,
covers are outstanding.
it's going to be. I mean, I've been reading Mark Spears Monsters. I can't remember what issue. If I haven't read them all yet. I have everything that's been released so far. So
Yeah.
it's been decent. So, Okay, 290. You got anything for 290?
Nope.
Okay, so this is
360.
from Fantagraphics. This is a Michael Cathro recommendation. Uncle Scrooge #1, Legacy number 461, Flintheart Gomgold's Sinister Secret Part 1. So, Uncle Scrooge story. I guess they're restarting the numbering, though, for Uncle Scrooge. So, of course, I think they maybe had restarted that previously. I'm not 100% for sure. But new Uncle Scrooge book, Disney Uncle Scrooge, on 461.
I had this
on 290. Excuse me.
I almost mentioned this because, I just recently read The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck, and I know a little bit more about the character. Enough now that I would be somewhat interested. I know who some of these other characters are, like Flint Gold and Duck. I know where Duckburg is now, and things that I never thought I would ever know.
I'm on to Image.
Okay, I'm all the way to 324 on Image. So.
Okay, well, I got a few before you then. So, 310, you have this is a new #1, the Author Immortal. So basically, the premise here is that someone has to carry on the legacy of some fantasy artist, or excuse me, fantasy writer. So apparently, that writer dies or kills themselves, and then somebody else is tasked with taking on the role to continue this beloved fantasy story. So that's the Author Immortal, and it's listed as an ongoing. So we'll see. I guess they can always just kill off the new guy, and somebody else has to come in and be the Author Immortal.
It's 48 pages for $5.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good bargain.
Then on 312, you have Death to Pachuco. This is a 5-issue series. Basically, it's described as a 1940s Chino noir. So, if that means something to you, then grab that. Then on 318, this, I don't know. I don't normally talk about Ice Cream Man, but this is kind of clever. So it's Ice Cream Man, the Mortal Coil Shuffle, and basically what it is, it's a deck of playing cards that has the story on the playing cards. So it's a deck of 55 playing cards. Those cards are numbered, sequenced, and packed. So that way you actually read the story on playing cards instead of in a comic book form. So it's just a different way. And then apparently there's a way that you can still play Go Fish or Draw 4 or War or whatever with this deck of cards. So
what will they think of next?
So yeah,
I thought all these ideas came from Bad Idea.
Yeah. So I almost like this idea better. Oh, and it's going to be limited to one printing. Will never be collected in trade.
So they say.
So they say. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. Money talks. We know that.
Right.
And then I'm on 324 as well, so I'll let you go.
Okay, so we have Universal Monsters Dracula Black and White, and it's a 2-issue, 2 special issues, and this is the first one. It's written by James Tynan IV, and the art and cover is by Martin Simmons. So it's, I mean, I don't know if where this falls into the previous Universal Monsters Dracula story.
So do you want me to ruin it for you right now?
You can, sure.
Okay, so it's a black and white version of that 4-issue series with 2 issues coming in each of the 2 issues. So that's why it's a black and white special. It's the same Universal Monsters Tynion story, but just done in black and white and 2 issues per issue instead of 4 issues. That make sense?
Is the word reprint anywhere in this solicit?
No, but it's special.
That's such a... Now they're gonna make me angry, and you don't want to make me angry. I'll Hulk out on you. Jeez, I'm so glad you told me that.
Well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, presents the first 2 issues of their acclaimed series in remastered, stunning black and white in a tribute to the iconic
so I didn't
film.
read it closely enough.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Because I saw that too, and I was like, oh, I thought I haven't read any of the Universal Monster stories yet. I keep saying I'm going to, and I haven't done it. And so I thought, oh, here's the Dracula one. It's like, oh, this isn't the Dracula one. We've already had the Dracula one. So,
man, now Now I feel silly because I really just thought they were really trying, but it does say present.
Yeah.
It presents the first two issues of
Yeah.
their. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, get it if you haven't got it yet, because
There
it
you
was a
go.
good
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
Page 325. This is actually another card game. This is and I'm not going to pick this up, but I thought it is a little interesting. Massive Verse fighting card game starter pack box of 24, and apparently the packs of cards are designed so that two people can play with one pack of cards. So it's the two complete decks. So I guess they're just 12 card decks because there's 24 cards. No, 24 packs. How many cards per deck? It doesn't say. But there can't be a lot. So
Right.
anyway, it's just like a little quick card game that you can play just by popping open one of these packs and playing. So you're getting all the Radiant Black series characters. So
It says 2 complete decks
per pack.
per pack. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much.
And there's 24 packs per box, but it doesn't say
Yeah.
how many cards per pack, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Then I'm on 376.
Well, 337 is next for me. It is. Well, where'd you go? Somehow. It's the last issue, number 26. The last issue of Farmhand.
Is it the
Rob
last
Guillory's
issue?
Farmhand, yeah. That's
Oh,
what
it says it there, series finale. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
See, that's why solicits need to be very concise to the point, because I skim over stuff. I don't have
Oh, yeah.
time to spend 2 days reading these
No.
catalogs. So, but this one, yeah, I have a lot of fondness for this series. It was featured on one of the early Roadshow episodes, and it's definitely a different take on a particular sort of like a horror slash science fiction
Yep.
topic, but it's it's really good quality stuff by Rob Guillory.
I have like 2 or 3 of the first issue graded. I'm just sitting on, hoping something happens with it.
Yeah, I mean it seems like it could make it somewhere. Okay,
Still 376.
341. You know, I had once upon a time I had the very first issue of G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, and I sold it to our friend Matt. Sometimes I wish I hadn't, but anyway, this is the image under image, the G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, number 321, still being written by Larry Hama. The reason I bring this up is that it is an all new silent issue.
I see that.
So,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know if it's the. It says a new silent interlude, 300 issues in the making, is what the blurb says. So it got an Andy Kubert cover here.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know if they had any other ones in G.I. Joe in the meantime, from that first one.
There was.
Back in the 80s?
Well, they did not too long ago. Wasn't there like 4 books that they solicited one month? And
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
those were silent issues as well. And
Yeah,
I
that
actually
sounds
meant
familiar.
to order there was one of them that I meant to order. And I don't know the code names for most of the Joes. It was the Indigenous American one. I meant to order that, and I forgot to do it. So maybe I'll have to track that down. I need to make a note of all these things I keep saying. I'm going to read that, or I'm going to track that down.
Well, you have to go back and listen to this episode.
Yeah.
What'd you say you're at?
76.
Oh, well, you go right ahead.
Okay. Well, you'll probably have more to say about this than I do, and this is also suggested by Michael Cathro. So we have the All Negro Comics, America's first black comic book. So this is just going to be reprints of it's the first comic ever created by African Americans for African Americans. So this is a golden age book. Reprints All Negro Comics #1. This is a 75th anniversary edition, and I remember hearing this from you that they changed the title pretty quick, right, on this book.
Oh, I don't know if that must not have been for me.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So
yeah. You mean like in the original? Oh,
yeah.
oh. So it's America's first black comic book, you mean, or the
Yes.
subtitle, or okay?
Yeah, well, no, like I think that this was only called like All Negro Comics for like maybe one issue, and then
Oh,
they
the
changed the
origi-
title in the original run.
I see.
I thought you had said something about that before.
Well,
So
I mean, I bet you it's in a. I have a book that's on comics with or black comic creators. I have a reference book on that I bet it's mentioned in there. And if I had more time, I would have checked that out before this recording. But yeah, I had this down as well. I mean, this is anything to do with history. I I thought, man, wouldn't that be great to have something? This is groundbreaking stuff. And I looked online, and the first hit I had was a 7.0 on eBay. You want to take a guess as to what it was advertised for price?
I'm sorry, I was looking something up and I did
Oh,
not hear the question.
I seen that this. I looked it up
Oh,
on
okay, on
eBay.
eBay. Okay, yeah, and
Yeah,
how
I wanted to
much?
see. Yeah, it came out in 1947. It was
Uh-huh.
really what I was looking to see what year it came out. And 1947, and it's listing this 7.0 copy
Hmm.
for $35,000.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do they
so
take cash?
yeah, yeah. Well, it's out of my market. So
Ah, okay. So it's supposed. It is the only issue of the series that was published. It has
mhm.
featuring stories such as Ace Harlem, Lion Man and Bubba, Sugarfoot, and the Little Do Dillies. The inside cover of the first and only issue explicitly stated that all content was created by black talent with a mission to provide positive and multi-dimensional representation. So there you go.
Does it say? Are you looking at Wikipedia or somewhere online?
I'm using Perplexity AI.
Okay. Yeah, I just wondered if that was if if the creators were. I mean, I just wonder who published it and how that worked, because my experience in looking at the history of minorities in comics, I just a few years ago read The Shadow Hero was based off of, I think, Blazing Comics. There was the Green Turtle
Hmm.
was the first Asian American
Right.
hero, and but the publishers, once they realized that
Hmm.
the Chinese writer put him, and I think might have been the artist as well, but depicted him with the Asian skin in different tones. They wouldn't let. They
Couldn't
said his
show his
face couldn't
face
be
or something.
shown.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it. Yeah. So I. This is if for being 1947 too. It makes me wonder. Now I really want to read more about this. So
Yeah. I'm
I've
absolutely
I've
going to
got
order
this down.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. For
This
sure.
says, and I should check my source, but plans for a second issue were halted reportedly due to Evans. That would be. Oh, I'll have to go back and get the names.
That's
Facing dis-
Oron C. Evans. Yeah.
yes, facing discriminatory barriers in accessing newsprint, possibly exacerbated by pressure from white-owned publishers who were
Yep.
simultaneously launching their own black-themed titles.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Right.
So yeah, I'm definitely going to order this, and I'm probably going to try to pick up multiple copies of it, just because it's a type of thing that just needs to be out there. It needs to be out there for
Absolutely.
people to see and understand what it was like,
Yes.
and in some
Definitely.
ways still is like. So,
Yeah.
all right, my next thing's on 409.
Uh, on 379, I have the 8 Billion Genies trade paperback. It's written by Charles Soule, and art and covers are by Ryan Brown. And the reason I'm bringing this up, because it's been solicited in single issues for the last several months, is because when I was at Graham Crackers Comics in the Joliet area in Plainfield this past week, I did an interview with one of the owners of Graham Crackers Comics, and this is the book that was recommended. So
Oh, okay.
whenever time comes to review it with a co-host, uh, I look forward to it. Though I mean, this has gotten some good. It becomes highly recommended, first of all, and the reviews online are good as well.
Okay. I also have a one or two of the first issue of this graded as well,
Oh,
just in
do you
case.
know do you know the premise real quick off the
I
top of
think
your head?
everybody gets their own genie, everybody
Yeah.
on the planet, but when you have all these different people wishing for different things, a lot of the wishes aren't going to be um, work well together.
No, they
So
kind of counteract each
yeah,
other, and yeah, it sounds really cool. I'm kind of looking forward to. It might have to get bumped up the list of episodes because I want to read it.
yeah. There you go. 409 for me still.
Okay. I'm not till 481.
Oh, okay. Well, I got a few then. So this is actually a Michael Cathro recommendation. This is from Mad Cave, Temporal, issue number 1. Once upon a time, Savannah and Marcus were the most skilled temporal thieves. I guess I should just say temporal thieves in the business, slipping through history to acquire rare artifacts. That was before they settled down, had a son, and built a quiet life together. Then 10 years later, stuff happens. So, series recommended by Michael Cathro. Then on 458, we have this is another Michael Cathro recommendation. I think this is the right one. His note just said Stake number 1, so this is what I'm assuming he meant. Stake presents Jessamy number 1. So in the mid 18th century, rumors of monsters eating slaves spread from an American tavern across the Atlantic. So I'm assuming with the colon that this is a part of an ongoing series, but I don't know that for sure. And then on 462, there is Lovestruck number 4. Now, I don't want to specifically mention Lovestruck number 4, but I got an email that all of my my orders for issue number 1 had been canceled. So I think there was a problem someplace along the line for Lovestruck issue number 1. So yeah, if this is something that you're really looking forward to, you may need to check and make for sure you're still going to get issue number 1. And
Was this also one from Michael, or this was yours?
This was this is something that I'm mentioning because I got the email. So
Gotcha.
Then 485. I think that's still before you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is One Last Trick. So what I saw that caught my eye was a cyberpunk noir story. So when I'm looking for something, hoping for something that's very Neuromancer-like. So this is One Last Trick from Midnight Factory, which is part of the Massive Indies line. And I guess I should also mention that the Stake Presents and Temporal, no, not Temporal, but the Stake Presents was also part of Massive as well. So.
And I lied. I was at 481.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going up and down on my Word document, and and then my computer, my PDF is slow. So it's from the Iron Age of Comics, another one under the Massive Indies line, and it's called the Haunted Box. A mysterious box contains your deepest desire in exchange for blood. It's a black, white, and blood horror anthology series, and I was taken by some of the art. I thought that the cover art looked really good, and then when I looked down on the sample pages by this Damian Torres, I'm like, this is really good black and white art. And so, yeah, that's my Massive Indies selection.
Right. Okay, and now I'm at 519.
Yeah, I'm not until 682 now.
Okay, we're getting close to the end of next phase. This is another Michael Cathro one. So this is Outlaw Showdown number 1. This is a one shot. So this looks like it's EC equivalent of Old West stories.
Man, that looks good.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
I may have to pick it up because it's the Western theme. Like I said, I've been enjoying some Westerns. I don't know why, but maybe I should grab it. I'm not for sure.
Yeah, is this Lee Bermejo cover? Yeah, and it's written by John Arcudi, who I mentioned was the author of that one Doom Patrol series that he did with a guy named Tan Ing Huat, and I don't know the nationality, but that's the artist that finally came to me. All right, looked it up. So, yeah, I like John Arcudi's writing, and I haven't seen much by him in a while.
And this is just a one shot, so it's not like I feel like I was committing to a series, which I don't think any of these are like something that it carries on from one issue to the next. So, you know.
And this is under who?
Oni Press. This is Oni Press. So.
Okay.
Yep. And I am done finally with Lunar.
Well,
even though there's 200 something pages left, so.
I do have one more, and it's Alter Ego number 197, and you're going to know why. I'm really surprised you didn't notice this. It's on page 682.
682. Well, it's probably the Dave Stevens cover.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I didn't know this was this solicited before?
No, this was not that I know of, but I have that original book, so I didn't feel like I needed to buy
Oh,
a magazine that
gotcha.
reprints the cover that I already have. So
Well, not all of us are so lucky to have all that Dave Stevens stuff that you have. Do you have any original art by him?
oh gosh, no.
Where do you live?
Yeah.
But this issue of Alter Ego, it covers the main topic is the secret history of Hillman Comics, which of Airboy fame and Valkyrie and the Heap. Valkyrie's on the cover because, like we said, Dave Stevens is going to draw a pretty woman,
Mhm.
not just Airboy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely am going to get this because I don't have the original comic book.
Well, of course, that cover was, I can't remember if it was Eclipse. Was it Eclipse? Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
I think it was. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So that's way later. I mean, that's not part of the original,
yeah, that was well, it
Airboy.
was called
Yeah.
Airboy Comics. I think
Hmm.
was the actual publisher. Yeah, or the comic line. What page
I'm
is this on? I gotta put this. Or no, the Outlaw one shot. I'll look it up later.
That was on page 519
Oh, okay,
from Oni Press. So yeah.
gotcha.
All right, we done with next phase. Close up this catalogs, free up some
Yes,
memory.
no kidding. Okay,
All
panels.
right, panels. All right. My first thing in panels is on page 12.
And mine is on page 7, unless I did the math wrong. And wait a
Oh,
second.
mine's actually
Another
on page 8. It's, okay, because I was breaking it up by publisher. So, like, they have, like, okay, so if you don't know,
Oh,
so what they do in the panels catalog is they, I guess, like, their books they want to draw the most attention to, they put up at the top. So you've got, like, okay, so let me just, like, you've got a book from Boom, and then a book from Dark Horse, and then a book from Distillery, and then it goes into the regular Boom books. So on page 8 for me, which I think is the one that you're actually wanting to talk about,
it
is
actually is
yeah,
because they put 2 pages on one screen.
yeah.
So
So
yeah,
Devil on My Shoulder by Kyle Starks. This is going to be a 4-issue series. Art by Peter Kowalski, who I think is the one who's the artist on
it is.
Where Monsters Lie.
Yep, sure is.
So yeah, I'm definitely going to be picking this up. It's a revenge story, so I guess it'd be kind of like, what is it? I Spit on Your Grave was the one that I remember.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, there was some of those books like that. So it's kind of like Kyle Stark's play on I Spit on Your Grave. So you got anything to add to that one?
I don't. I was just. I knew you would likely have seen it as
Yep,
well because
yep,
it's Kyle Starks. Yeah.
yep. I did have, like I said, it's just the ordering on those.
We
I
have
went and put
yeah.
it back down with Dark Horse instead of up at the top where it
I'm
should have
just going
been.
by page number. Whatever page. I'm trying to go in
And I will
numeric
do
order
that from
here.
now on. I won't separate those out like that. So all right, so I'm on page 12 then.
Okay, I'm on page. Well, maybe it is 12. I'm on page 13, I think.
Okay, I'll
So go
let you
ahead.
go. Go ahead.
13. I've just got Hello Halloween #1. So from the same creators, well, same writer as the primary writer as Hello Darkness, which is up to issue 15 from Boom Studios. This is Hello Halloween. It's just another. It's a fresh batch of anthology stories. I remember Eric from the Long Box talking about the summer hits, some aren't, but I, I, I think I'm going to check it out again with the Hello Halloween #1, and there are some names that I've seen here in Hello Darkness #15. One particular story is by Jude Ellison S. Doyle, who is the writer of this new series that I think maybe I talked about on what we've been reading, and that is Be Not Afraid.
Okay.
And so it made enough of an impression on me that I see her name, it pops out at me once in a while.
So on the next page, which is I have down as page 14, this is from Boom. Suggestion from Michael Cathro is Marion Heretic #1. This is written by Tenny Howard, illustrated by Joe Jarro. Experience a bold new series where divine conviction meets dark compromise. So I saw the cover. It reminded me of Warrior Nun. I can't remember what the name of that
Well,
was. So it's not something that jumped out at me, but this is from Boom, suggested by Michael
yeah.
Cathro.
There was one of those '90s comics that was it Evangeline?
There was that as well. That was a different one.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, the Warrior Nun was from Ben Dunn. He's the guy who he did like the I always called it Americanized manga, though
Hmm.
there was like oh gosh, I can't even think of all the stuff. But Warrior Nun was one of his more popular. He did like Ninja High School and stuff like that. So
Gotcha.
18.
I got 19. If that
Okay, is it American
well,
Caper number one?
it is.
Okay, this is something Michael Cathro suggested, so I'll let you talk about it.
Well, it just happened to catch my eye. It's from Dark Horse as well. It's by Dan Hauser and Laszlo, illustrated by David Lapham, and it's a crime fiction saga. I don't know much more about it than that, except what I'm reading here. But I like crime fiction. I've read. It seems like a lot of crime fiction lately. Everything from Parker the Hunter, uh, Richard Stark's Parker,
Mm-hmm.
to Kill or Be Killed. Some of the Brubaker stuff. So just you can chalk it up to being in the mood for this kind of stuff. Just kind of like you in westerns right
Yeah,
now.
I'm at 44.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, I said I'm at 44, and then I went to 44, and it's
I'm at
not.
31.
Then you go ahead. Math is hard.
This um, yeah. Okay. And this is another one that I mean, I catch now when I see Matt Kent's name and Kyle
Mm-hmm.
Starks. It also jumps out at me. I don't know if you've seen this, The Circus Losing Control. It's basically an adaptation of John le Carre comic number one. I don't know what that means. It's basically intelligence agents of the circus, which it's capitalized, so I'm assuming it's some sort of organization. And it looks like sort of spy thriller type stuff, maybe some cyber stuff. Anyway, again, it's the genre caught my eye.
Is it because that's weird. That's coming out from Dark Horse, but I don't see because Matt Kent has his own imprint at Dark Horse called Flux House,
Yeah.
and I don't. So I missed this number one. So I probably need to make a note about this and decide if I want to pick it up or not. But
Hmm.
yeah, I don't see the Flux House logo on
No,
it.
it's not there, is it?
So okay. So
Well,
yeah,
you'll have
I'm
to.
definitely gonna take a closer look at that whenever I go put my order in. So I'm gonna mark that down here real quick.
And you
32.
said Michael Cathro had something in this area as
Uh,
well.
page 46. So
Oh, okay.
it's a little bit later. So do you have something between?
No, not until 50 something, 56.
Okay, so
That's
on
Marvel. Yeah.
page 46 is Tuatha number one. Let me get scrolled down to that. It took me a minute to find it. Um, a fantasy epic told in 40 gorgeous pages. So, um, but yeah, number one, I guess it's from IDW Dark. It is also just a one shot, it looks like. So there wouldn't be a huge investment. So if you are interested in a fantasy
Yeah.
horror style book, Tuatha from IDW Dark. Okay, I got 49 next.
You're good to go.
Okay, so we've got a new imprint. Okay, apparently it was there last month and I missed it. So there is an imprint from Jeremy Hahn called Ignition Press. And there's a lot of different creators. I think Cullen Bunn's a part of it. Anyway, there's a bunch of different creators that are part of it. So they kickstarted a book called Murder Podcast. All right, and I actually ordered a 5-pack of this. Well, it's Murder Podcast 0. Well, I'm skimming through this catalog and I see Murder Podcast number 2. So I apparently missed number 1. So because that was solicited apparently last month, so I had to send in a request to see if I could get that added to my to my order or not. So hopefully I got it in there. But the second issue, I just wanted to talk about the second issue of Murdered Podcast. So the idea is there's this podcast. If you listen to it, it will turn you into a serial killer. So hopefully that won't happen with our podcast, but I don't know.
Well, it does. I mean, that whole idea, that premise sounds a bit like World Tree,
Yeah,
except
except the
instead of a
internet.
yeah,
It's the internet instead of a podcast. So, but there are several new number ones from Ignition Press this month. Next one is this is something that Michael Cathro suggested, written by Colin Bunn. It's Deluge, issue number one, cover by your favorite artist, Riley Rossmo. Um, sorry, I just had to throw in that jab.
Oh yeah, no.
And then we got our Roots of Madness. This one is written by Stephanie Williams, illustrated by Letizia Cadenochi. At the turn of the 20th century, Etta, a young black woman, inherits her mother's tradition of crafting medicinal remedies from natural ingredients. So it's the supernatural story. Does seem kind of interesting. And then also on page 50, if there was a series a while back called The Beauty, it was one of those Top Cow pilot seasons. It was the winner of the pilot season, got an ongoing season or series. It has been solicited to be picked up for a TV series. So now they're releasing a second volume of The Beauty. So this will be volume 2 of The Beauty.
Since we're on this page, can I mention what's with it?
Roots of Madness?
Yes.
I just talked about it, but go ahead.
Oh no, I'm on. I'm sorry. It's not the same page.
Oh, okay.
Now I've got it all mixed up. So never mind.
Which one?
Bleep. Nope.
Oh, okay. All right, then I'm I'm going by the PDF page number, not the printed page number in the catalog.
Yeah, but now that let me just comment on Roots of Madness though.
Yeah,
since
go ahead.
Stephanie Williams, I've enjoyed a lot of her work. I think she did the Nubia series over at DC, and it just this kind of the idea of this storyline seems to be sort of, I don't want to say it's Aaron Brockovich like, but it is well, you described it enough. I just yeah, it's enough to make me go ahead and put it down to buy number one at least.
Yeah, I'm going to pick up several of these Ignition Press number ones this month. So. Okay. Actually, I tell you what, I think I lied. I think I'm going by the actual catalog number. So I'm on 51 next, which is just the next page. Okay. So 1776. I initially scrolled past this, and then I came back to it on the second time. And what caught my eye the second time was illustrated by Ron Lim. All right. So 1776, written by J. Michael Straczynski, illustrated by Ron Lim. The concept is that Captain America has to pick a team of heroes to go back to the days of the Revolution to basically save the country. So it looks like we're going to get, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and Hulk and Cyclops and Iron Man and, did I say Invisible Woman? Not for sure. I wasn't going to order this until I saw the Ron Lim art, so now I'm going to probably give it a shot. I'm going to hope that it's a one-shot. It doesn't actually say. But yeah. And then a good portion of the Marvel catalog is taken up with books for Age of Revelation, which is their next crossover story event for however many months it's going to last, 2, 3, 4, whatever the case may be. So there are a bunch of books tied to Age of Revelation. Michael Cathro mentioned that he really likes the crossovers. I'm in the opposite boat. I'm not a big fan of all the crossovers. Yeah, go throwing that out there. It's like mostly it's going to focus on the X books because it's like X years later, so that implies 10 years later. So there you go.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I am so confused. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I must have put down World of Revelation because that is one of the books.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess all I have to say is that I'd be more interested in this because I don't dislike the whole 10 years later type idea. Plus, of course, you got to use the X because it's
X-Men, yep.
very much X-Men centric crossovers. But you got X Avengers and you got all these different X titles. New,
Mm-hmm.
I like the X Patriot X Men or whatever. um, the it's the what is it? World according to or One World Under Doom.
I think so,
That
yeah.
that's on like issue 8 of 9 this
Yeah,
month, so
yeah,
it's not even finished yet. So it's not only bumping up against other
yeah.
big line wide events, it's like overlapping with them, and
Overlapping.
it just
Hmm.
kind of to me it makes the whole continuity of things a
You
bit
have
muddy.
to take a breather between these events
Yes.
because otherwise, you just don't, I always hate it when the main title that you're reading has to every 2 or 3 months stop to deal with the event. We ought to be able to
Yep.
get 5 or 6 issues between events, before you have to then throw in an issue for a crossover, and then okay, that's just my preference. And just at this,
Yeah.
when they're overlapping, that's way too many.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And did you mention? Okay, so this whole thing of Age of Revelation, that's a play on Age of
I
Apocalypse.
think
I
so.
assume
Yes. Hmm.
Apocalypse is the main antagonist here.
I didn't go any further than the name, so
Yeah.
I just saw it, and I was immediately not interested. So
Maybe intrigued or fascinated by the fact that they just keep
yeah,
going back to this stuff,
I,
but
I just wonder. I mean, they're doing this. Obviously, people are buying it. I'm not
right.
buying it. I don't think you're buying them. I just wonder who out there is buying those books, and it's just
I
like,
don't know.
it's not me, that's for sure. So,
What other non-event Marvel stuff are you looking at?
well, okay. So next up on the very next page, and I'm only mentioning this because Captain America is in the title, Alien versus Captain America #1. I'm not gonna buy this, but yeah, I'm not used to seeing a Cap versus book. I don't remember there being one of these. Maybe there was one for Predator. I don't remember. I didn't mention it because I
Yeah.
usually don't. But I just thought I'd throw it out there this time. 62 is my next thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we have. I got to scroll down to it. 58, 60. Here it is. I can't remember what it was. 62. Must not have been 62. Okay, I'm off. Okay, what
Well
is
then,
it? Oh, okay. So Marvel Knights Punisher. Where is that at? Okay, here it is. Okay. So Marvel Knights Punisher #1, written by Jimmy Palmiotti. I was like, oh, hey, we got a new Punisher book. I've been waiting for a Punisher book. So I'm probably going to pick this one up, but I didn't. I guess I forgot that there was that Punisher Red Band issue that started last month.
no.
So now we actually have 2 Punisher books. So I missed the first issue of Red Band. I'll probably just read that digitally, and I may read this one digitally as well, because this is like the world to come. So it's like, okay, so Punisher is like the person who meets you at the pearly gates. I don't know. It's kind of a little weird thing I feel like going on with this Punisher story. So I don't think I'm gonna buy it. I don't know. I'll have to see what my mood is when I put in my order.
Well, I'm so lost on these page numbers now. I'm just gonna say the name of the title,
Okay,
and people have to look it up. It's Cloak or Dagger #1,
cloak,
and
cloak and dagger, shouldn't it
no, it's
be?
Cloak or
Oh,
Dagger.
really? Okay.
Yeah. Um, so I found it here on page 58, and it's by Justina Ireland. Don't know
No,
her,
me neither.
and illustrated by Lorenzo Tometa. And again, it's part of the 10 years later
Hmm.
story, but it did make me wonder what's up with that. Can they, is it sort of a Jason Blood demon thing? They want two
Yeah.
aspects of the same entity now, or
Yeah.
I don't
Well, it
know.
says they're
There's,
married.
oh, it
So
does, yeah.
yeah, huh? That's interesting. I always
Yeah.
liked those 2 characters. They just never really were used very well. I don't think so.
Yeah.
All right, I'm on 73.
I am on, yeah, that's the same one, but go ahead.
Okay, so Return to Planet Hulk.
Yep.
Okay, so written by Greg Pak. Planet Hulk's is a popular Hulk storyline. So, and it doesn't look like it's basically 20 years later. So it's not like it's part of the Age of Revelation. So it's its own thing.
And you don't get gamma irradiated there. You get gamma irradiated Irra-
a
irradiated, because
irradiated,
irradiated,
irritated. Yeah.
irritated,
Oh yeah,
irritated, or
yeah, irritated. Ah.
it's like the fourth spelling mistake I found in the catalog so
Oh.
far, and
Well, when
there's
there's
got to.
700 pages and 300 pages, there's got to be a few. So.
Oh, I know. I mean, that's just it just cracks me up sometimes. So, yeah, it caught my eye too because you're right. It was such a popular
Mm-hmm.
storyline.
76.
And yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Spider-Man Noir #1, comic script by Eric Larson. So Eric Larson, now at this point best known for Savage Dragon, he had a run on Spider-Man after McFarlane did. So he was the guy who had to come in after McFarlane. Can you imagine trying to fill those shoes on Spider-Man? But he did a pretty good job, and now he is writing for Spider-Man Noir, who is the 40s noir detective Spider-Man that we've seen in the Into the Spider-Verse series. So
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. Then on the next page, we have Strange Tales #1. So a new Marvel mystical book. Strange Tales, of course, is a long, old title from Marvel, going all the way back to pre-Marvel days, and they're bringing it back with a mystic focus.
Yeah, was that? I mean, was that a series? You know, you always think of Journey into
Mm-hmm.
Mystery and Tales to Astonish. I guess Strange Tales always has sort of been under the radar for me.
Yeah.
Is that where Doctor Strange first appeared?
So yes, so Doctor Strange appears in issue 110, and then at 169, they changed the title to Doctor Strange. And that's like the first solo Doctor Strange comic is Doctor Strange 169, if I'm remembering this correctly. And then leading up to that, you had like Nick Fury, Shield, and Doctor Strange sharing the book. It was a popular run because it had all of the Steranko work. In
Oh
addition,
yeah.
in addition to the Doctor Strange stories, I've been going through a collection recently, and I've pulled a ton of Doctor Strange. But that with Strange Tales 110, I mean that was first Doctor Strange. So that's 100. There's 109 issues before that. It was
Was it
Human
under?
Torch. So I mean,
Oh,
for a while inside of Strange Tales prior to that, but it would have been monster books.
right. So it would have been
Even
like,
predating the Marvel Universe. Yeah.
did it go all the way back to Timely Comics when Marvel was Timely?
Should have.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then
I'd have,
Atlas and
I'd have to
oh,
double check, but yeah, it should have gone
interesting.
back at least
I
almost
have
10 years. So.
Yeah, I have a little bit more than a passing, interest in those in between years of the 50s. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was they weren't always known for their high quality, but just some of the concepts. I mean, you think of like the Black Knight. He
Mm-hmm.
came about. His origin was in the Atlas era in the 50s, and a lot of characters that I think they used that era maybe as inspiration using the same name, just
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little bit different take on the character
Yep.
in modern or more modern Marvel comics. So it's interesting.
And I've got let's see, 81 is my next thing.
I'm not until 89.
Okay, so 81 we have White Tiger Reborn. Okay, so the original White Tiger, I think, is at least co-created by George Perez, and then there is later a female version of the White Tiger. So that White Tiger is getting a new series, and of course. In Daredevil Born Again, the Disney series, we saw the quote unquote original White Tiger and how the events that unfurled that's going to lead to the new White Tiger apparently in the Daredevil Born Again series. So I think the Reborn play might be a name might be a little bit of play on the Born Again
Mm,
Marvel, but I think I'm going to pick this one up and give it a run for a little while. So
I'm marking it down as well. What was she like a hero or a villain or who's
she's been used both ways, but primarily a hero.
okay?
Yeah.
Especially when you mention it was George Perez design, at least.
Yeah, so
Not,
like the original was Spectacular Spider-Man #9. I think it was
mhm.
Perez. I could be wrong, but Puerto Rican origin.
Yeah,
So
interesting.
then, what page number did you say you were at?
89.
Okay, so it's you. Okay.
Okay, so 89. Let me get there and scroll over. It's what we started to
Oh
talk
yeah.
about earlier. It's the first time that I've seen, and I think you said you've seen a facsimile edition of one of the amalgam books from the late
Hmm.
90s, where the with the Marvel and DC characters mushed into one. So we got Spider Boy #1 facsimile by Carl Kessel,
Hmm.
or is it Kiesel, and illustrated by the
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 late.
Mike Ruingo,
Hmm.
great artist. So yeah, I have to look and see if I don't have this already. I'm going to get it.
Okay, if you
If the
don't have it,
facsimile.
I probably have 3 or 4 copies of it.
Okay,
So
well you
don't.
just cost Marvel a
Yeah.
little bit of money, but I
Okay.
guess they'll probably make it this month without my
Yeah,
five
without
bucks or whatever.
your yeah.
Okay,
So yeah, I have multiple copies of Spider Boy.
okay,
Do not buy it.
okay.
Now I don't know. I guess there's 2 reasons why they. It's like this seemed weird. It's like, why are they doing a facsimile of Spider Boy? It's like
Yeah, of all of them, yeah.
it's like,
There's
okay, you should either start with the Marvel verses, and but maybe they can't. But I don't know. But obviously Marvel and DC are spending a little bit more time cooperating with each other.
yeah,
And one, we have the Spider Boy character, the a newer version of Spider Boy,
right.
and now maybe that's leading to this. And then of course we've got the upcoming crossover between Marvel and DC. I can't remember when that's even
Hmm.
gonna. Well, we had it starting right with the Deadpool, Batman, and other stuff. So,
Yeah.
which I wanted to mention because it's actually not in the catalog anyplace, but Deadpool and Batman did get resolicited, and there are lots of covers. Yeah, so if you want to see that, you can't see that in the panels catalog. You got to go to the actual Marvel catalog. And I'll tell you what, this is something I dislike greatly. There are a bunch of covers for Deadpool Batman that do not have Deadpool or Batman on the cover. It's like
Right.
Catwoman and somebody else, or
Hmm.
it's just like I hate it when they do that.
Same here. It's
Um,
it's it's
yeah.
it's like the theme or the
Hmm.
company wide theme thing, like Disney covers. That
Yeah.
was like overriding
Yeah.
the importance of the cover.
Or it would
I
even
mean,
say like there was like the one that really gets me is they reprinted the Avengers 4 cover with the Disney characters. It says Avengers at the top of the book,
yeah,
but it's Amazing Spider-Man.
yes,
It's just like you go pick that up and it's just like what? And it makes it tough to sort because like, oh,
oh
you read
gosh,
Avengers, like nope, it goes in
yeah,
Amazing because it's not Avengers. So oh, first world problems.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm on 124.
I got my very last entry here is on 113,
Okay.
and it's called Frankenstein Alive, Alive. It's the complete collection. It comes from, I don't know. It's in the panels catalog, but it's under graphic novels. I don't know who's publishing it here, but it's reprints the Stephen Niles, Bernie Wrightson, and Kelly Jones stories of the Frankenstein monster.
So it's from
So
IDW,
IDW,
but
thank
it
you.
wasn't originally run by IDW.
Okay,
So
but it had me at Bernie Wrightson and
hmm.
Kelly Jones to be honest. Anytime I can see a comic with that art
Hmm.
from him and Kelly Jones both is like, and the cover's like black and white or
Hmm.
monochrome at least. So I don't know if the interiors is or not, but I'm getting it.
I had at one point at least one issue of that series. I never had it all, but I had one issue of it at one time.
Yeah,
So.
it looks like Bernie Wrightson actually did he pass before it was finished, and then Kelly Jones at Wrightson's request stepped in to complete the series.
Okay, that I do not know. All right, I gotta. Are you done? Done or?
I am done.
Okay,
Yeah.
well I got a few more here. So 124. We've got the next volume, Epic Collection of Micronauts. So I think it's volume 3. All right, and
Okay.
then I always skip the East Asian section, but Michael Cathro had. Um, oh, and I put the wrong page number down. Anyway, it's in the East Asian comics section. Before You Go Extinct. Maybe it's on 190 instead of 290. Nope. Uh, okay, so anyway, I um, didn't make any notes about it, but he suggested Before You Go Extinct. Then on page 276, this is one that caught my eye. This is actually from No Starch Press. It is Game Boy Coding Adventure. So apparently, it's going to teach you the assembly language, which, by the way, I think you have to be a masochist to want to learn assembly language if you know anything about coding at this point. Um, because you're not writing in like what's called like
C plus plus
well,
or
yeah, it's not. I mean, it's basically, as my understanding, it's basically you're coding numbers. You know, it's almost like punch card programming. It's like a step
uh,
newer than that. But you're able to write games for that would run on a Game Boy. So I assume that you would get some type of Game Boy emulator, code it, and then you would be able to run your Game Boy game on your emulator. So I'm all I'm going to say is that No Starch Press on the educational books that they do typically does a pretty good job. So if that is something that you would be interested in, here's a good book for you. I'm not going to be ordering it, but I just thought it was cool.
in some ways, I'm like, you're right. That's sort of like that's glutton for punishment stuff to
Mm-hmm.
really. But then again, I also put myself through that in the mid '90s with programming and designing a Duke Nukem level, and based off my high school,
Oh.
the design of the high school,
Mm-hmm.
and learning. That's before the whole before Quake, and the
Mm-hmm.
real 3D rendering. It was just virtual 3D, but it was 2D.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, but I can kind of relate to why people do this.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I bet I didn't see my wife for about 2 months, and she was not happy.
No, no. All right. You got anything? So you want to talk about anything you're really looking forward to out of this month's catalog?
Well, that as we were going through this, I did mark it down, and um, or I meant to mark it down, and I didn't. So I'm gonna do a real quick. Let's just say Farmhand number 26
Okay.
because
Wrap up that
I want to
series.
go back and get through the rest of that series anyway. So we'll do that one.
I'm kind of, I don't know. I've got in my brain that White Tiger Reborn. I don't know why. It's just stuck in my head. So I'm gonna say that's what I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
because it's not a character that I've read a lot of. The last time I read White Tiger was part of either I don't know if it was part of the Brubaker Daredevil run or the Bendis Daredevil run, but I really enjoyed the character there. Um, so I'd like to see what they're going to do with that character now. So, all right, you wanna make any type of investment pick?
I it's not really an investment pick. I just think it's a good if you want to fulfill some uh, or to really flesh out some of your knowledge of history, and that's that All Negro Comics, America's First Black Comic Book trade paperback. I did find in the meantime, Scott, the reference book. It's just a
Okay.
nonfiction called "Desegregating Comics: Debating Blackness in the Golden Age of American Comics." So I'm leaving this out because if when I get this All Negro Comics trade paperback, I'm gonna have this along with it to read it as a
Use
companion
a
piece.
reference.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking at the. I'm kind of scrolling back through. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention in Marvel. In the Marvel catalog, they are soliciting for the return of Null in Venom issue 250. I do not
Mm.
see in the panels catalog Venom 250. The only thing Venom was a Venom red, white, and black or something like that. So I don't know. Pay attention. You're a big Venom fan or a big Null fan, then when you're putting in your orders, look for that next issue of Venom for the return of Null. But as far as investment picks, I think there's a bunch of options. That Roots of Madness, that was a Stephanie Phillips book. I
Mm-hmm.
think it has potential. I agree with you, believe it or not, on the. I don't think it's going to be like $100 book, but the All Negro Comics reprint because of the fact that it is such a iconic piece of comic book history reprinted. I think that is worth considering as well. And I thought I had another one. Oh, and I'm going to pick up, just because of the different presentation, several of that Ice Cream Man Mortal Coil Shuffle. It's especially they hold to that where they don't reprint that, and I think that's just kind of an interesting new thing to do. You've also got that Mark Spears Monster blind bag. That last blind bag from Kirkman caught people by surprise. So people were suddenly. I had at the show that I did after that, I had multiple people asking if I had any copies of that because they wanted that blind bag from Kirkman. So as far as investment go, I mean, those there are others that could be thrown out there as well, but there are several good choices, I think, if you're wanting to try to, maybe flip something a couple of months to a year later. So.
Well, it's not new, but it is a hot item, and I highly recommend this because I have eight copies I need to get rid of, and that's the. You know what I'm going to say too. It's the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I thought I was buying the 8-issue run, and it's 8 copies of issue 1.
The
in
reprint.
The Dollar Tree reprint. Yes. It was like palm to the head moment. I'm like, oh man.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a hot item, so folks,
there you go. Pick it up.
Go to Bird Comics, and I'll probably give these to Scott, and he can, flip them over to you for a couple bucks.
There you go. So, do you know what we have coming up in episode 217 of the Campus Comics Cast?
Yes, we have We Three, and that was recommended by
Gavin Smith to me at the Metropolis Superman celebration this year.
And we just talked about this before we recorded.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the other thing.
Oh, and then we're going to talk about Superman and Fantastic Four movie reviews.
The movies.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's off the beaten path for us lately, so I totally forgot about it. Yeah, so I look forward to that, though, because I haven't gotten to Fantastic Four yet. Been traveling a lot, so I'm my wife and I, we like to go to these movies together, so I'm hoping sometime this week we'll get to go. So definitely before the recording, of course.
Yeah, I actually saw Superman twice in the theater. I've only seen FF once. I don't know if I'm going to go back and see FF again. I only saw Superman twice because a relative came in and my son wanted to see it, so we all went to the show. So I didn't mind seeing it twice. So
yeah,
there's a little
I
teaser.
bet we'll probably. I have a feeling we'll probably see it again too. So. Okay. But yeah, that's We Three. I look forward to that read as well.
And I think that, you know what, I meant to mention that because I think it was the trade paperback was solicited in this catalog in DC, in the Lunar catalog, and I just forgot to say anything about it.
Oh.
I didn't realize it had something to do with animals. So I'm not a big anthropomorphic fan, so I don't know what I'm going to think about this book, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Well, yeah.
There you go.
Never know until you try.
Exactly. All right. So, all right, Mike, if somebody wanted to reach out to you beside podcasts at birdcomics.com, how might they go about doing that?
Well, I'd say the best way is just hit me up on our Facebook page, Campus Comics Cast, and you can make comments there. But more directly, you can send me an email at mike@comicshoproadshow.com. Yes, I actually have my own domain that is not getting used, so please send that email.
And I'm Scott Reed. You can find me at burgcomics.com, B-U-R-G Comics, with links to my social media. And I would really appreciate it, anybody who's listening, if you would follow my new Instagram comic book ad feed. I'm posting daily comic book ads going all the way back to the late 30s. I think my newest one is in the 90s. But I'm doing daily comic book ads. Would love to have you give me a follow. We'll be back soon with episode 217.
I figured you'd ask me, why in the world are you reading Machine Man? Well, the first question is which Machine Man? Oh, the miniseries, yep. So the Machine Man 2020? No, the Machine Man from 1984. I didn't know there was that miniseries in the 1984. Oh, so that it's it's more than 4 issues. No. So are you talking about the Jack Kirby series? No. Or are you talking about... It was Tom DeFalco and, who's the Conan artist, the big Conan artist? Barry Windsor Smith. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're reading Machine Man 2020. Oh, yeah, that was like the year it was set in, but it's not... Is it called 2020? I think it's called 2020. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, okay. So, I assume you're reading it for a roadshow. No, I'm just reading it because it's on one that's being talked about on a podcast, and I want to read it. You know? Oh, okay. So, it's, let's see, it's on page 113. Man, Barry Windsor Smith. It's the first 3 issues is the layouts or the breakdowns or whatever by Herb Trimpe, which they're fine. The art's fine because it's embellished or finished by Barry Windsor Smith. But the last one is all Barry Windsor Smith, and it's like because the story's kind of like, you know. But yeah, I don't remember it being great. The one thing about it though is it's the first appearance of Iron Man 2020. Oh, well, I just read it on digital, so that's not happening. Issue 2. Yeah. Let's see. 19. It's funny, we're past 2020, and I know that reminded me of those retroactively in the future stories. You know that.